Powerful and provocative, prophetic and practical,
Have you ever found yourself?
Are you dating for that person?
informative and
I feel
inspirational.
every bit of it. Like, I'm not trying to waste my time.
How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do. Come on, let's talk about it with me, the Mind Massager.
Intellectual stew. Oh, we're cooking something true. Intellectual stew. Real raw and relevant for you. With James Kirkland guiding through the deep, the light, the old, the new. Intellectual stew.
Y'all go ahead and share this if you would, please.
We're stirring up the view. Intellectual stew. Oh, we're cooking something true. Intellectual stew. Real raw and relevant for you. With James Kirkland guiding through the deep, the light, the old, the new. Intellectual stew. Yeah, we're stirring up the view. Intellectual stew. Oh, we're cooking something true. Intellectual stew. Real raw and relevant for you. With James Kirkland guiding through the deep, the light, the old, the new. Intellectual stew. Yeah, we're stirring up the view. Intellectual stew. Oh, we're cooking something true. Intellectual stew. Real raw and relevant for you. With James Kirkland guiding through the deep, the light, the old, the new. Intellectual stew. Yeah, we're stirring up the view.
Now, what's up? What it do? Time for another episode of the Intellectual Stew with yours truly. You like my things? Hey, Dennis, you know what? You haven't heard my rap song yet, though. You haven't heard my rap song. I'm gonna let you hear my rap song before the night's over with. I tried to I put a little rap song on here that I got, so I'm gonna put that out there in a minute. But what's up? What it do? Time for another episode of the Intellectual Stew with yours truly, James K, aka the Mind Massager, and I am excited, man, to be here tonight. But I gotta be honest with you all. I came this close to not doing a show tonight, right? Because I didn't really have a topic, and because my topics come to me like sermon topics. I got to get a revelation. And then once I get that revelation, then I'll move, but I hadn't really gotten one. And so I was kind of stuck on a couple of ideas. I had Bradley. What's up, Bradley? Had Bradley on with me last week, and we talked about Behind the Mask. And that was a really good show. And the week before that, we did I Broke My Silence. Now What? That was a good one. And the one before that with Evans and Dwyer, what was that one, Bradley? What was it called? Oh, Who Taught Us to Suffer in Silence? What up, DA? DA. I didn't come up with that name. The dude who came up with that name was on here last week, and he showed me. He called me that, and really he gave me that because of the way we're both ministers and the way we approach scripture. And I approach text totally different than a lot of people do. So he started calling me the Mind Massager, man. I promise I am not arrogant enough to come up with that name. Sometimes I even lack confidence in certain areas. It tips me out because people will misdiagnose you because they don't know you, man. And real immature people, DA, and Dennis and Bradley, real immature people will look at confidence, and because you got a little bit more than them, they'll call that arrogance, and they're not the same, right? Because you don't know what a person like Bradley and I talked about last week. You don't know what a person goes through when they get home trying to hide behind that mask. But I'm real talk. I thought about not doing the show tonight because of the championship game. Michigan is playing against UConn. I don't know who you got. Didn't really promote it like I normally do, but sometimes those are my best shows. And I really didn't have everything fully mapped out, but I've learned something. Consistency will take you places that motivation doesn't. So since I've made the decision to start coming back on Monday nights, I want to be consistent. I want to be pay that no mind. They're not built like. I appreciate that. So consistency means you show up anyway. So I'm here, and I got my folks with me. I got DA. DA is like one of the smartest cats. Him and Dennis are so smart. Those are my little brothers up in Illinois, and I appreciate them for following me and blowing Big Brother's head up every now and then. Bro, I knew what you meant, but I just called you one of the smartest guys. But I knew what you meant. So even when it's not perfect, even when things doesn't line up, you still show up. And maybe that's a word for somebody tonight. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Stop waiting until everything is perfect. Just show up. And tonight, what I want to do, and listen, this is open mic night. Dennis just sent me something a minute ago, and we're going to start with that, actually. No, before we go to that, I'm going to kind of introduce a subtopic. But we're going to do, but it's open mic night. The phone number's right there. Hold on, I got to turn the phone on. 404-860-2775. Show up, exactly. So let me put that up first. Let me put the phone number up because I want y'all to call tonight. This is what I envision open mic night being. And Dennis Wood emailed me something, text me something about 2 minutes before the show. So that's why I was late trying to get on right quick and trying to get an overlay so I could put it up so we can discuss that in a few minutes. But tonight, that's the phone number, 404-860-2775. The line is open. Let me put the video link in the chat. Let me do that. Can y'all hear me? Let me put the video link in the chat so we will have that available as well. I didn't share this with anybody. Normally I share it, but tonight, if they want to get on, y'all just got to get on there on y'all's own tonight. If y'all want to get on, it's on. Get in where you fit in. I'm gonna stop. You know what? Because sometimes I let me apologize to the DAs and the Bradleys and the Dennises of the world. The people who follow me consistently, because sometimes I'll find myself complaining about the people who don't show up, and I don't appreciate the people who do. And I really, 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 really appreciate you all for showing up and for being a support system for me, and y'all have been that for like over a year. Some of y'all 2 years, and some of y'all invest in me and all that. I appreciate that, man. I really do. So let me stop complaining about the ones that are not here and start blessing and thanking God for the ones who are here. Now, I have about 6 people I know at least watching right now, 7. So now, do me a favor, like it and share it. Do that for me right quick. Really, I prefer you heart it because I think the algorithm acts a little different when you do it that way. But if you heart this real quick and you share it, we can get some people to be a part of this open mic night. But I'm going to put the link in the chat for those that want to get on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me find it. And if y'all got something you want to talk about, throw those things out in the chat. I really don't do politics. I'll do a little religion because that's who I am. But what is going on here? But yeah. So if y'all do that, what's up? What's up, big sis? You good? You good? We need to talk. We really need to talk. Hit me up tomorrow if you get a chance. But we need to talk. Listen, I'm filibustering right now because I'm trying to put this link in the chat. To join the show, click the link. Here we go. And I had a brother who was on YouTube. The DA, I want you to come on and talk about that for real. And Dennis, if you're available, but I want to get y'all's opinions on this one. To join the show, click the link below. Here we go. But we're going to talk about, hold on, a couple of different things. I want to talk, one thing I definitely want to talk about is red flags versus green flags. And I think a lot of us miss the green flags because we're so busy looking for the red flags. Okay. All right, good, DA. I think, do y'all agree with that? Do y'all think sometimes we miss the green flags in relationships, especially because we're so busy looking for the red flags? Table that conversation. We'll talk about that in a little while. But and honestly, the reason I say that is because we spend so much time talking about those red flags and what to avoid and what to watch out for. But I'm wondering tonight, I really am, what if the problem is isn't that we're missing red flags, but the problem is we're missing the green flags? Now, we're going to talk about that in a minute. DA, we're going to talk about what you want to talk about. But if those who are listening, if you agree with that, I'm asking a question. If you, whatever category you fall in, number one, if you feel like you've ignored too many red flags, put a red flag in the comments. If you feel like you've ignored too many red flags, but if you're learning to recognize what's right, then I want you to put a green circle in there, whatever, the green light. Give me a green light. Put that in there, okay? But before we get, and DA, go ahead and click the link. Come on in, DA. I want to talk to you right now. Because before we get into tonight's topic, I want to deal with something I posted on YouTube, and someone left a comment, and it stuck with me. And what they said was, there is an intergenerational cycle of narcissistic abuse in our communities, right? I had shared a video about how men suffer from mental health and how men, he said, DA said, I'm learning to recognize what's right. I appreciate that. And where are you? Where are you in that? Have you ignored too much? You're on defense mode. Your body's in alert fight or flight mode, and you need to drop a red flag if that's you. But if you are maturing and you're learning to recognize and see the good in people, because sometimes when you see the good in people, the good many times outweighs the bad. I've done things, I remember one time I said I would never, ever carry a woman's pocketbook. I said, ain't nowhere in the world you're going to get James Kirkland to carry a woman's purse. But then I met somebody I really liked. I really did, man. I met somebody I really liked, and she with me. She caught me off guard. She had me singing, baby, if you spoil me, I'ma spoil you too. Show me that you're loyal. I mean, she had me singing. I'm riding around town singing. And man, then we went and walked on the side of the river, and I was holding her purse. I'm like, what in the heck am I doing? But it's crazy what you'll do for one that you won't do for another. Let me bring DA in. Hold on, I got to change this overlay first. Hold on, DA. Here I come. Because they won't be able to see you. They might be able to. Let me see.
Yo.
That almost gets in there, right? That almost fits in that frame. Wait a minute, I got another one. Hold on.
It works. If it works for you,
you like that? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man, I had put this video on YouTube, And I was talking about, how we suffer in silence as men, and we're taught,
Mm-hmm.
not to show emotions and all of those types of things. And somebody made a very intelligent comment, and they said that I can't go back to the comment to get the whole thread of the conversation, but he said there's an intergenerational cycle of narcissistic abuse that's in our community. And when we talked about it further, he said that it's a subliminal thing. It's not spoken. You know what I'm saying? It's something that we're just taught. And that narcissism. Now, I question it a little bit, DA, because I think part of what makes us men are some of the qualities that they call narcissism. You know what I'm saying? And so in order to die, sometimes I think to emasculate, especially black men, they really talk real bad about narcissism and only show the negative characteristics of that, right? But I want to get your opinion on that. What do you think about that statement when you hear that there's an intergenerational cycle of narcissistic abuse in our communities?
I mean, basically put, society has placed this misogynistic view on everything we do now. And I'm not trying to take anything from women, right? Because you can't. Women have been at the forefront of everything that we do in society, whether it's equal rights, voting, the pick me. You know what I'm saying? Women are at the forefront, and they're forging their own path. My brother and I, Dennis, we always talk about there is no such thing as gender roles, but if we're being quite honest, societally, there are gender roles. So the things that people might assume that are intergenerational, narcissistic ways when it comes to being a man, like a bunch of other things, man, it's all systemic. It's put in place to either take the alpha out of a man or accentuate the beta in others.
Hold on,
You know
hold
what
on,
I'm
hold on.
saying?
You gotta
Listen,
rewind. Hold on. When you drop, hold on, Dennis. What you call that? When you drop a bar, you know what I'm saying? You gotta say that
man,
again. You said it's either to take the what out of a man?
it's to take the alpha out of a man and then to add to the beta of certain men. Because when you gotta understand that when you were just speaking about confidence before I jumped on. When you walk into a room, you know who you are. The
Yeah,
room knows who you are. The
no doubt.
minute you say, I'm him, oh, look at this. Oh, because he got a podcast now and he got following, and people know who he is. No, I built this
Yeah,
from the ground up. You
yeah.
weren't there when it was only two people and me talking to a screen.
By
You got
myself.
on. You got on when it was thousands of people watching this and sharing it, and now everybody is knowing my name. No, I actually am him, and I've paid this way. Oh, you think you know everything? No, I don't know everything. I know a little bit about a lot of different things. And
Yeah.
that's because this is what I've covered. Oh, look at him. He's narcissistic. No, I'm not. I've worked to get this esteem that I carry every day. So
I
you
suffer
can't
for this.
tell me. And,
Mm,
so the play on what he said is intergenerational.
yeah.
It goes back to that. You were seeing a post a few months ago, a few years ago. Well, how come the men don't take care of the women how grandpa used to? Well, technically, grandpa was just being responsible. Our responsibilities have changed in this world. Yes, grandpa was, a few generations, a generation or two removed from not really lynching because they were still catching them on the back streets, but it
Absolutely.
wasn't as bad as it was. But now our current day lynching is, man, when I walk out the door and start my car, I'm automatically thinking, man, what happens if I get stopped by the police?
No doubt.
You got license, insurance, everything in that car is good. But the minute you see a cop, it instantly folds in your mind. So it's like we're dealing with so much stuff that when we do get the opportunity to be the men that we've been called to be, it's looked at as a narcissistic behavior. And it's not. I
It's not.
have to I have to contend with the world. I gotta now battle my woman because remember, grandma used to just shut the F up, cook the food, and listen to whatever grandpa said. Now we got a situation where wife comes in the house. Didn't I tell you to take that garbage? What? What?
Not me. No.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying we're battling so many things in the world that we're not being narcissistic. But when we work hard to put ourselves in a position in life, that's exactly what we've done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're a force. We're a force. Now, some men are
Hold
pick
on.
me's.
No, stop. I got to stop you one more time. And I ain't trying to be rude because I know
No,
you're
you all
flowing.
good.
Yeah. And Dennis, I want you to chime in on this conversation as well. Anybody else want to tap in? Come on, we talking tonight. You just said something that's very powerful. You said we're a force, and that needs to be unpacked. Have you ever noticed as a black man that if you are in a dialogue and the dialogue escalates even the slightest bit, you didn't even raise your voice, but you got firm in your tone, the first thing somebody tells you to do is calm down.
Yeah, you aggressive.
Yeah. I hate that. That's like somebody grabbing me when I'm about to get in a fight. You know, don't grab me. But if I'm not even angry and I get a little firm and I say, okay, and my eyebrows raised, because you know why? Because of what you just said. We're a force. And they know that once we get on 10, it's going to take everything in their power to bring us back down. You feel what I'm saying? So the threat, right now I go through this thing where sometimes my anointing attracts attacks. You know what I'm saying? When I walk in the room, my reputation hits me and I ain't even did nothing. You know, I'm just here. You know what I'm saying? But my anointing does that. And I think we carry that given that they didn't mean to give us that label, but we just get it by DNA innately. We're a force and they know it.
Yeah, everybody knows it, man.
That's crazy.
I mean, Jay-Z just spoke on something, and I don't know if it was real or if this was like some kind of AI generated thing, but he called himself like getting down on Justin Timberlake for cultural appropriation, pretty much saying, oh, Justin Timberlake, after your NSYNC days were over, you leaned on the black community, you know what I'm saying, to pump your career back up, doing features on all of the black songs and having all of the black rap artists do features on your song. And now you don't even mess with black people. Where are you? Well, that's a part of it, because the conversation I be having with my homies and just using Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z in this part of the conversation. Look at all music now. Country singers rap now. Country music has a bass line. Go back to the early 2000s, man, where you had Nickelback and Three Doors Down and Green Day, and all of this music was relevant. And now the only music that you ever hear about is ours. Period. You know what I'm saying? So much so that they get mad for them playing black artists and Beyonce on country stations. You know what I'm saying? You have the Justin Timberlakes, the Post Malones, I don't want to say Eminem because that's just a little too far. But you have all of these guys who culturally appropriate to our music style to get a fan base, and then once they get pumped up, they go back to what they know. Everything we're a force. In the 80s, go back. You old enough, James, to go back to the 80s. I think you looking a little young.
Bro, come on. Are you trying to call me old? Are you trying to be sly and call me old now, DA?
Nah, man, you're looking kind of young over there, man. I got all this gray in this camera.
I'm all of 53. I'm happily 53, bro.
Go back, man, when we were younger, man. When spandex was the thing and all of the women were working out in the mid 80s, the late 80s, and it was this slender frame that everybody wanted. You had to look at it. What is it now? A curvaceous black woman, full lips, full breasts, hips.
Yep.
They all want it because they understand that we are a force. Remember back in the movies back in the 80s and the early 90s, when the men used to call, "You're a fat, blah, 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 blah," and the women would just be 150 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And then the women in the movies would be so distraught by the comment. But now look, if you're not 150 or better, you're not worth nothing.
Yeah.
Because we are a force. Our style comes through in everything. The way we walk, the way we talk. Everybody wants to be black until it's time to get in black trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Let me read Dwayne Dwyer's comment. He said, "My initial thought is to ask them to explain what an intergenerational narcissistic worldview means. To be aware of a narcissist to either admit to idolatry or confess. I don't think he meant it that way. You can
Yeah,
go
no,
you can go to my
that's
page and actually read the
hey, he
comments.
dug in
Yeah,
that. Hey, Dwayne.
yeah. You
Hey,
went a
boy,
lot deeper than
you ain't
he
your
went on it.
man.
He went good though. He went. He
Yeah,
had a good angle with that. And
but
like
he
I
was
said,
surface
I'm
level.
gonna say this again, Dwyer. I think they've given narcissism such a bad name. Because there are some
Mm,
qualities of narcissism that makes us black men, and we
that
wouldn't be
makes
as
us with, and that's
we
why.
wouldn't even be as much
Come
man as we
on,
are if we didn't carry those
come
characteristics.
on,
And I
be
said
an
some of these a
alpha.
lot of these little cats that was raised only by my, no, I ain't gonna say that, but it, because and it's hard to get it, if you ain't got nobody that put it in you. I thank God for daddy. I thank him
Hmm.
every day. Because it's a dog daddy put in me, and sometimes that dog only shows up when a dog is about to face another dog. I can be real docile in moments. But when that white dude called me out my name at the dealership that one time, I said, hold on, can y'all excuse us for a second? I told everybody in the room to move, and I was 23 years old, and they were managers in their 30s and 40s. But when he said, he cussed me and said, why in the HE double hockey sticks? I said, hold on. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't go off. I said, hold on, can y'all excuse us for a second? And everybody
Yeah.
said, what? I said, well, first of all, let me explain this to you. I just got to Atlanta last night or a couple of days ago. I don't love anything here other than my fiance. So it's nothing that's going to stop me from coming across the table and beating the brakes off of you. I said, but so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. My name is James Kirkland and your name is. Now let's start over. Now that would probably be called narcissistic to some people. You know what I'm saying? Because it had some type of confidence and yada, yada. And I meant every word I said.
Yeah.
So there's a certain degree that I think has to be. I don't want to stay on this too long, even though it's a good topic. But let me just say a couple of things. I want you to introduce the topic you want to say, okay?
Yeah.
But let me say a couple of things about what intergenerational means. It means that this didn't start with us, and I think we
Nope.
need to understand that.
Yeah.
This means that
Nope.
this was passed down. Okay,
Yes.
that means that this was a learned behavior.
Yes.
We
Yes.
inherited things like
Yes.
communication styles,
Yes.
emotional habits. We
Factual.
learn relationship
Factual.
patterns, right?
Factual.
It's some things I picked up from my daddy
Factual.
that I carried over that I didn't even realize I carried over, right? Ways of
Yeah.
handling conflict. Sometimes some men will go outside. My daddy would go in the backyard, cut some grass. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't want to argue. He and I don't like to argue because I don't want to argue with nobody I can't fight. So certain people didn't do it that way. And sometimes what we call normal is just what we survived. It don't mean that we were doing the right thing. It just means that we learned how to function in dysfunction so long that dysfunction seemed normal. And when you finally get therapy or you finally get around somebody who's doing it different, and you're like, oh, it's like epiphany, like, wow, like it's a better way to do this, and I think when we open ourselves up to the universe, if we open ourselves up to other ways of doing things, exposure brings about different effects. You can only
100%.
embody what you've been exposed to. If you've
100%.
only been in the country all your life, walking barefooted, eating hog maws,
That's all
and
you
eating
gonna
pig
know.
feet, that's all you know.
That's all you gonna
But
know.
the moment you get out of the country and they introduce you to carpet and and pedicures and going a whole different way and
Factual.
give you a good piece of meat, you go to a steakhouse and you ain't gonna want Longhorns no more because you done had a real good porterhouse or you've had a real good filet mignon. You develop an appetite for the effects that you've been exposed to. So many people are underexposed. And then they want to shape their worldview based on what you've been underexposed to. And baby, it's levels to this thing.
100%.
I ain't hating on you for
100%.
what you haven't done. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But don't hate on me for what I have done. I don't talk about anything that I have not experienced.
Yeah. 100%.
And if I bring anybody on the show, it's halftime. It's because they've experienced something that I'm curious about. When I was going through my divorce, I talked about people who were going through aspects of what I was going through. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to go to therapy back then. I didn't want to get out of that moment. I'm sorry. That's enough. Talk to me. Talk to me. What did you want to introduce tonight? What did you want to
It's actually the perfect segue about the exposure and diversity of different things, because we live in a world now where, going back, the last however long on social media, we're hearing that the dating pool is full of piss and that men aren't what grandpa was. So my question is, like, as men, does it befall on us to change the narrative of the dating scene in the world? Because the lack of exposure, we come from a time, James, where we were outside. You know,
Yeah.
our social media was riding bikes and going to the park and going to the skating ring and going to garage basement dances or whatever the case may be. A
Yeah.
lot of these young cats now, they're not exposed to that. So based on the fact that they're not exposed to that, on top of not having fathers in the home, um, we've kind of matriculated down to the science of, you know, Netflix and chill, social media, texting. This is how I get to know somebody, not dealing with rejection, will. So now I don't want to expose myself, put
Mhm.
myself out there. I'm now relegated to just liking a bunch of pictures online and telling women how beautiful they are, getting in their inboxes, telling them Grand Rising Queen, you know, you the most beautiful thing. And then if she don't respond, then I retract back into this shell of protecting my
That's a good.
social anxiety. What do we do as the men who know better? Is it our jobs to step out into the forefront and teach other brothers, or do we just sit back, man, and protect what's in our own bubble? I'm sorry, that was a mouthful. You got to forgive me, but this is something that I'm
Man, I'm
working
gonna tell you
through.
something. No. I mean, well, one thing you got to understand, my prophetic eye, when you talking, I'm seeing what you're saying. So I listen to what you're saying. And then
Yeah.
I kind of my mind categorizes it, puts it in different, in different lanes. Cause I see it. I see it. Cause you said a mouthful. And the one
Yes.
thing you said is that, and cause go ahead. If you want to unpack it some more, go ahead.
Just
I'm ready though.
just to minimize it, does it fall on the man in society to step up and make the change in how black men and women are seeing each other in this dating world? Does it fall on us to be the change that we desire?
Absolutely. Let's put, hey, what's up, Vi? Let's put that question out. Put that what you just said, put it in a 3-sentence paragraph and make it a question for the audience. And I'm gonna type a question for the audience. Okay. You
With
put it
the
in a
state
paragraph.
with the state of dating being what it is for culturally black people, is it the man's responsibility to change the narrative of how we see each other?
With the state of dating being as it is for culturally
Black
black people.
people, is it the man's responsibility to change the narrative on how we see each other in relationships?
If y'all hear his question, go ahead and start answering it now. Is it I'm not a fast typer.
No, you
Men's
good. Responsibility
responsibility
to
to
change the
change the
narrative
narrative. I got a good memory
on
now.
how we see each other in dating. Because this is
Yeah,
this is something that I've been looking at again, because at the end of the day, even going back to the other point that I had earlier in our conversation,
that's a
we
good
move
question.
the needle, man. The man is the head. It's like we won't even go to the religious aspect of it. Let's just go what we know in society. You know, if a man and a woman walking down the street, the man got to walk curbside. If a man and a woman walk through the door, man got to open the door. If conflict persists in anything that's going on, the man has to step in the forefront. So if we're being placed in the front of everything, does the conflict in our relation to how we see each other, does that fall on the man to change that? Because a lot of us have fallen into the man, if I'm just being honest, she got a fat ass, I'm liking this picture. Oh, she got a pretty face, I'm liking this picture. Oh, she got this, I'm liking this, you know what I'm saying? Oh, she got her breast out. Because we've fallen susceptible to that. So is it up to us to start speaking our truth? So, you know what I'm saying? Talking about where we at, where we not at, where we're not, where we lack. Is it up to us to say, hey, well, I lack in confidence, so this is why? Like, is it up to us as men to change this thing? Because women, all of these women are saying the dating pool is full of piss. This is their conversation. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, is it up to us to change that narrative? Because we
Man,
are giving a lot of women, like, we get mad. I'm sorry, one more point. We
no,
do
go
get
ahead.
mad when women just post twerk videos, and we do get upset when, you know what I'm saying, they expose and they say, we say, oh, look at this. She being this, she being that, she's being a whore. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. But it's our fault because we're giving them that attention, right?
Man,
So is
hey,
it
listen. Keep talking, bro. 'Cause I'm having to build something in Canva right now.
no,
I'm
go
having to build
ahead.
something in
Look.
Canva because the question was too long for StreamYard. So I'm having to build it in Canva. Go ahead,
Yeah,
keep
no,
talking.
I'm just wondering, and I clicked it off because I'm gonna come out. I gotta charge my phone. And my kid is in here terrorizing in my bedroom. You know, I talk to you from my bathroom because that's the only place I can go to escape my kids. Not right now, Stink Man. Not right now. But that's what I'm saying, James. Is it on us, man? Because we've fallen into this false sense of confidence. You know, like we were talking about confidence a little bit ago. It's not confidence, man, if I'm just liking a post. It's not confidence if I'm just liking a picture. It's not confidence if I'm jumping in a woman's inbox telling her, "Good morning, beautiful. You the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." That's
You know what
not
I call that?
confidence.
You know what I call that?
What you call that?
Trot line fishing.
Okay.
Yeah, you just put
Okay.
a whole lot of hooks in the water with a bunch of bait on it. And if anybody bites, that's where I'm eating at. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that, but that, but that's what I'm saying. Do we as men have to stop doing that? Because
I
we're giving these women their false sense of confidence because they think and I'm not being accusatory to the women watching. Please understand that I'm probably the least misogynistic niggas you know. I've been married to my wife for 6 years and we've been in a relationship for 13, going on 14. But we're giving them this, oh well, I'm in demand because I did 30,000 likes. I'm in demand because all of
oh,
these men
we
are
got a call
commenting.
coming in. Let's see what it is. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, Dennis is called in. Okay. Let's get him.
But yeah, no, we give
Dennis,
them
turn your
that.
phone, turn your sound down, Dennis. If it's up. All right, hold on. Let me get Dennis in the call so we can get his get his opinion on this. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Let me
100%.
get him up. Yeah. Hold on, D. I'm getting you in right now. Wrong button. Yeah, I know I'm technologically challenged, but I do my
Man,
best.
listen, don't claim it. Just say, hey, I'm getting better.
No, I
don't
got you. No,
claim it.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. I got you. I
But
got you.
yeah, no,
Hold on. There we go.
I'm just wondering. I'm just
Dennis, you there?
wondering, man.
Yes, sir.
Can y'all hear Dennis?
Can
Y'all
y'all hear
tell
me?
y'all let me know if y'all can
Yeah,
hear
we can hear
Dennis right
you.
quick.
We can hear you. Hopefully this thing don't pick
I
DS,
that
can
up
know.
you hear me?
too.
I need
Yes,
to
I
know if the
can.
people in the chat. Somebody put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear Dennis. I think y'all can though.
I can't
I
hear
mean,
DA speaking.
You
you
can't hear
can't hear
DA
me?
speaking?
Nope.
That's me. I can hear you though.
Yeah, you're on there. No, you're on there definitely, Dennis.
Yeah, no,
You're
I
on
can
there. Go
hear
Yeah,
ahead.
him. I can hear you.
it
Yeah,
gave me
Bradley said he can hear you, Dennis. Go ahead. Talk to us.
it gave me the captions so I could read the caption on the other phone. But yeah, no, I love the question that he posed. And anytime there's a man to woman question that's posed, I always look to the man because why would I be speaking to anybody else other than the leader? If there's some adjustments that need to be made, the leader needs to kick it off and the followers need to adjust according to the leader. The leaders need to shape up first, and then they need to get the people following them on board. So when we start talking about who needs to change what to be better, you have to always look at the man first, no
Absolutely.
matter what the circumstance is. Say it again, big bro.
I said absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
talking
dig
about,
it.
I don't care what question we pose. If it's men to women and what needs to change, the change starts with the man. Every single time. No ifs, ands, or buts. Not even
I
just
dig it.
this one case. No, every single time, change starts with the man.
Absolutely. And this is the thing about that is that and yeah, y'all know I'm spiritual, so I apologize. We know, so I mean, well, I don't apologize because I am who I am.
You
But
are who you are.
but the thing is that anytime that the enemy comes after us, he never comes after the man. He always comes after the woman. Even if you look in 1 Samuel 30, if you read that in the scripture when you get a chance, David and the men were all fighting. The people and the Amalekites came, took the women and the children away, burned the city up, right? Because they know that if they can affect our weakness is our woman and our children, no doubt about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's our glory, that's our strength, that's our weakness, that's everything. So when you take that away from us, you take a lot. But when we step up in our rightful place, when we do what we're supposed to do, when everything gets out of order, even if you bring it, let's bring it to the 21st century. And I hate to always talk about the problem, but the problem is where everything stems from. When prisons became privatized, and they started putting them on the stock exchange. Any business, Dennis, you already know you in business. You do taxes, but any business has a target audience. If you're gonna have a business plan, what's the first thing you do? Who am I gonna sell it to? Who am I gonna market to? Who is my target audience? So when they started putting prisons on the stock exchange, they had to have a target audience, right? They had to figure out what segment of society is going to fuel us, because these heads represent $40,000 to $50,000 a head in the federal system, right? Well, let's think about who's not paying taxes. Let's think about the marginalized people in society. Let's think about who's going to be, and then let's think about how it would affect families, especially black families, when men are gone. Because when men are gone, then the family, not just the woman, but the family is uncovered. And when the family is uncovered, then they're exposed. If you walk in the house right now, Dennis, and one of your children is laying on the couch, and it's colder up there. So happened they just left the window open and it's snowing outside and it's a draft, right? But they're asleep and they don't have any cover on them, but the cover's laying beside them. What are you gonna do?
Close the window.
Cover them.
You're going to put the cover on them. You might close the window, but the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cover them.
Yeah.
Anybody that loves somebody that they're in authority over or that they have an affinity for, they're going to always cover them because they don't want them to suffer. You get me? And so looking at the state of dating, I said, Dennis, you've been following me. Both of y'all, when DA, me and you connected before me and DA did. But I've always said that in order for there to be restoration or reconciliation, that's the word I'm looking for. In order for there to be reconciliation, I've always said black men are going to have to apologize. I've always said that. And then we're going to have to stand on it because there are so many things that are corrected that need to be corrected. There, the Big Brother organizations, you know what I'm saying? The uncles that we used to have. I was talking about my uncles a couple weeks ago. Y'all remember them uncles that used to punch you in your chest? I mean, just to toughen you up, man. And they'd be like, you better not cry. But they thickened us, man. They put us in a position. I'm on my podcast. They put us in a position for us to be stronger, to be tougher, and those things prepared us for the vicissitudes of life, right? You know what I'm saying? When things got violent. I can spell it too. I ain't gonna lie. I can spell it right. I hate you, Dennis, for about 3 seconds. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm back now. I'm back.
I see you.
I'm through, Rand. Dennis, you go ahead. Go ahead and talk about DA's topic some more, Dennis. I'm sorry. Let me be quiet.
He pulled it out.
No. DA did. I like what he did there. He did there. But I just want to make sure that all the men listening and all of the men who will be listening soon, it's very important that they take pride in the role that God has given them. And that role is to lead. You were not meant to follow.
Yeah.
You can ask questions. You can get assistance. That's why we have brothers. You're my big brother. We never met each other in person.
Not
but
one
man,
time.
Can't nobody say we not close. Me and you
not
are
at all.
close.
Yeah.
That's my big brother.
I fight him if they told us to.
Pulling up. If he need me, I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be guided. Like, you're the older brother. You have wisdom that I know nothing about. So when I ask you questions, you have an obligation to guide me, and you do it willingly. You teach me about a whole bunch of stuff. It's okay for me to go figure out how to get the stuff done by other kings, but I do have to be a king, especially at home.
Yeah. And that's that. I really want y'all to get into that conversation a little bit more in the chat. If y'all hadn't shared this yet, y'all need to share it because it also coincides with the green flag, red flag thing. D.A., I'm sorry I got that over your face almost. I apologize. I just want
you all good, man. You all good. You all good.
But
I can adjust.
It really coincides with the red flag. Well, you can stretch your neck a little bit, yeah. but it really coincides with the red flag, green flag thing because I said that a minute ago. I think so many times that we miss green flags because we're so busy looking for a red flag. We put all these traps out there. We put all of these things out there to say, if this happens, I'm getting a divorce, or if this happens, ain't nobody gonna treat. I remember a girl told me one time, and I tell this story all the time. But one time she said, I ain't letting no man cheat on me. And that was her biggest thing. I said, well, who got cheated on? Your mama? No. My grandmama? No. Well, who got cheated on? Nobody. Well, why are you afraid of where that fear? Cause it's like punching air.
She claiming
Yeah,
it.
it's a big social media talking point.
It's a big
So she
social
has a fear of something that never even happened.
Yeah. It's a big social media talking point, just like you just said. And like you also said, and another thing, red flags are a big social media talking point. Don't mean some words that just get on my nerves now that I've heard come out in the last few. Shenanigans gets on my nerves.
Narcissist gets on my nerves.
Huh?
I hate narcissists.
Narcissism gets on my nerves.
Bro, I can't stand it.
Like Toxic gets on my nerves.
Donald Trump, they took narcissists to a whole nother level with Donald Trump.
Grand Rising gets on my nerve. I hate Grand Rising. That would get on my nerves.
Don't get me started on the inbox kings. Yeah, I get to throw names I don't even know.
Oh my God! But it is what it is, and I know it. Y'all hear me now. So if you send me a lot of Grand Risings, you can stop. But you can just say good morning. I'm cool with that. Or what's up? Hey, how you doing? Throw me a fist like that. I'm good with it. But no, it's all good. I'm playing. I'm joking. I'm just glad some of y'all speak to me.
I'm just glad some of y'all speak to me.
Hold on, Avery, answer that question. With the state, because DA, you're going to talk. With the state of dating being as it is for culturally for Black people, is it the job? Is it the men's responsibility to change?
I already know what Big Av gonna say. I already know what Big Av gonna say.
I want Avery to come online, but he won't. Come on, man, click the link, Avery.
I already know what Big Av gonna say.
Click that link, Avery. Teach us something.
Click the link, Avery. We ain't seen you in a while, man. Come on, click the link. Come on and talk to your brothers for a little while.
To say, I already know.
Y'all know Big Bro be dropping gems. Bradley, you ain't met Avery yet. Bradley, Avery be dropping gems, Jack. I mean, for real, that's my
tell him he might as well get in here. She mad at him anyway.
No, his wife ain't gonna never be mad at him. She loves Avery. Avery, that dude, man. Listen, that's who you listen to.
Yeah.
When you got people talking about marriage, that's who you listen to. Because Avery got 34 years in this game.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's who I'm listening to. If I'm listening to Avery, somebody getting married and that's been married is gonna give some advice.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because we listen to people who are wounded. Like for instance, I can tell you what I did in mine. I can tell you what not to do. I can tell you where I made my mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Because I know where I made my mistakes at. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm gonna tell you. But I can't tell you what worked. I can just tell you the mistake. Oh, shucky, we got him. We got him in the house. Avery in the house. Oh, where you at? Oh, there you go. Avery in the house. Avery in the house.
Look.
Next time you come in and say, give me my theme music.
No,
go ahead, bro.
Look, I'm stuck. I'm out and about, and I had to get on when I saw you were live, and but man, to that question, man, I ain't changing no narrative for nothing.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying it to the degree let me say this, and until Black women stop listening to these social media voices, it's very little that Black men can do in this environment to change their mind. Until they stop listening to the social media voices and listen to the heart of what men are actually saying. Because most men are saying totally opposite of the advice that they're listening to, but they still listen to it and then wonder why they're still single or not progressing in their relationships. It's just that simple. It's just that, it's just that simple. Man.
Yeah.
I've been through the storm and rain.
Lord, do you hear me?
Lord have mercy.
Because my thing is, I with these conversations, I just sit back and listen and laugh because I hear, what they say, and it's amazing. Everything that they're saying in my 34 years of marriage, I basically live totally opposite of the advice that they're giving, and I'm trying to figure out how I survived 34 years doing the total opposite of what y'all saying that a man should do.
Hey, when a man get his paycheck, he should walk in the door and give his wife 97% of it. Nigga, if you don't shut Look,
hold on. Dennis, you're still here, right? Dennis, you still here?
yeah, he must have clicked out. You know that phone ring more than a bill of health.
I wish he wouldn't have
Shoot.
clicked out because he said he disagreed respectfully, sir. I want to hear what he disagrees with. And he said respectfully, so. But
But I mean, you also have to take into consideration exactly what Avery is saying, because it's almost like we fighting an uphill battle on a slope with oil on it. You know, we can preach and speak and talk and preach love, but if we're not being, you know what I'm saying?
you look like you
I'm
from the
not being
South.
heard. I'm not being heard because you're too busy listening to the talking heads. I just
Right,
told my
right.
wife this the other day. My wife came home from being out with her friends for Easter. They, got together, the girls, whatever. I don't be partaking in none of that stuff. And I hope don't nobody she know finna listen to this stuff and tell her business. They talking about doing Klarna or Afterpay or something for gas, car insurance, that type of
What?
thing. I say, but wife, don't that mean that you always behind? She like, yeah, and what as they talking, and these is 50-year-old women having these
Uh-huh.
40-year-old, 40-year-old. I say, so now everything that I say to you makes sense. She say, yeah. I say, well, it should have made sense when it first came out my mouth when I'm talking about budgeting and how we should be putting money up. $250,000 coming to this house every year, and we gotta wait to go get a new car. We gotta no. If we put money where it's supposed to be, instead of every time I turn around, you at Zara, you know what I'm saying, and downtown on Michigan, you don't need to be doing that. You need to be listening to me. But because the world is telling her, y'all make this kind of money, this the house you should live in, this the car you should live in. I've been driving the same car for 7 years. And until that motherfucker fall apart, I'm going to drive it for another 7. I don't have to look like nobody else because I'm not listening to the world speaking to what my big brother Avery said. What the world says don't dictate who I am as a
That's the point.
man.
That's the point. That's
It
the point.
don't dictate
That's the
who I
point.
am. And like my big brother said, these women, they're allowing the world to tell them what love looks like, what
Yeah,
happiness looks like, and that's not the case. You be in
absolutely.
love and be happy with the man that's happy with you.
Absolutely.
Period.
And
That's it
let
right
me
there,
address
brother.
Big Sis. Let me hold on, Avery. Let me address Big Sis because she said he may not be. And I understand her point. She said he may not be given. Oh, Dennis moved me down. Hold on. He said he may not be given. He may not be giving it directly to her 97%, but if he's paying the mortgage and all this stuff. Listen, this is the point with that 50-50 conversation. This is the point. This is the point. Most real men are paying 100% of the bills. They're just not talking about it.
Because for what?
And it is not about, we don't care about the 50-50 conversation. It's the prerequisite. It's because I'm
Oh.
offended that you would tell me that that's what I got to do for you. A real man, and then a real woman at the same time, she gonna probably say, hey, you got this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even really know no fake women or fake men. I just, everybody I know is real. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
100%.
hey, what were you going to say, bro? I know you was about to say something.
Man, I was just gonna say on that point, it's if you're not going in with partnership in mind first and working together, I don't care. You can do 140, 50, whatever. Your mindset isn't in the right place to begin with. And like you said,
Mhm.
that's the thing I don't want to. It's the prerequisite. It's the expectation of certain
Mm.
roles, and not
Mm.
realizing circumstances and situations are going to dictate different outcomes in your marriage.
Mm.
Man,
Ooh.
I'll never. Man, I was when we first got married. My wife did not work for 3 years. I paid everything for 3 years, and then she decided, hey, I want to go to work. I said, hey, if you want to go to work, that's fine. And then when the dynamics changed and children started becoming a part of the family structure, then that income was needed. And then I found
Mhm.
myself out of a job for
Mm.
almost 7 months. So who going
Mm.
so am I what happens then? But because she
Change.
understood partnership and cooperation, then we just
Mhm.
did what we did. And
You
then when
handle
I
what you
got
had to
back on my
handle.
feet, yeah, when I got back on my feet, hey, we
Mhm.
just rolled. But if a lot
Mhm.
right now, most most women that well, on social media anyway, the attitude is I'm coming in, and if you only pay 50% of the bills, number one, you're not even a man. Get that stuff out my face,
Hey,
number
knock it
one,
off. Knock
because
it off.
you don't understand.
Okay, here I come.
You don't understand all of that. Most people, you're not understanding the dynamics of the relationship. And so a lot of times, and Dee said it real, you cannot base what you do on somebody else's viewpoint, vantage point, and all. You got to do what's best for your household. So that's why I say,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I think I said it last week. I've been 100%, I've gone 80%, I've done 50%, I've done 0%. But because we have cooperation and a partnership, we're not even coming into with that type of mindset.
And that absolutely, and that's I always say, if you don't if you only focus on the I and the me in relationship, you'll never understand the us and the we.
Come
And
on.
that's a problem,
Come
because
on.
us and we always has to supersede I and me. And
Factual.
that's why a lot of people struggle in relationships, because they come in with the whole I and the me. I told y'all Avery was gonna come in cooking. That's why I'm glad, even though
Yeah.
he driving, I'm good.
Hey,
Hey,
Avery,
listen, but huh?
Dennis said, is it fair to say that women only have those expectations for the men that they don't really want? I'm guessing he's laying mention to, the expectation of whatever financial responsibility befalls on who. Is it fair to say that they only have those expectations for the men that they don't really want? That's a tough one for me. That's a tough one for me, because then it's
You
just
got
like,
Avery
well, yeah.
quiet. I can't believe you heard the question right, Avery. Avery.
No, I didn't hear it, man. My wife
Okay. Dennis asked you a
stepped in
question. He
my.
said, Dennis said, is it fair to say that women only have those expectations for men that they don't really want?
Me
No, I
personally,
can't. I
let me.
can't. I can't. I can't. I. You know what? I
I
can't
can't say that
say
either.
that
Me
because
neither.
I mean that's a generalization. So no, I can't say that. But
And I
but
imagine if they don't really want
even the
them, then
one the
they some gold diggers anyway.
Well, I can understand the spirit, because I know Dennis, so I
right
understand the
right
spirit of his question. I understand the
right.
spirit of his question, but this is, and let me see. He said because they'll pay 100% for a man, and this is the point right here. And I think this is what Dennis is saying, and this is what I just said a minute ago. For a whole lot of women, I never would carry their purse, right?
Right.
But the right one, I'm walking
Right,
alongside a Chattahoochee carrying a purse. You know what I'm saying? So,
right,
so
right,
now they
right,
might put those expectations out there, saying this is what they got to have until they meet the right one.
Right.
Because when you meet the right
right.
one, you're gonna do whatever you want to do. Is that what
You
you're
willing
saying,
to
Dennis?
conform. You
Yeah, if you
willing to
meet the right
conform
girl,
to.
the right
Yeah,
woman,
I
certain
like it.
things. I said I would
I
never
like it.
carry a purse, but
Yeah.
all of a sudden we walking and she said, "Here, hold this," and without even thinking, I'm walking carrying this woman. I'm like, "Hold on, cat, I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
Don't do that," you know.
I see what you did there, James. It goes right along with that statement. Men make time for the women that they want, or people make time for the things that matter to them.
You,
So it
it's
makes
things that
sense.
you say you won't do that you
Yeah.
will do for the right one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Point blank.
100%.
It's things
100%.
that you say you won't do. Avery probably can tell you some things he didn't do in the beginning that later on he started to do. Avery also
Yeah.
brought up another point a minute ago. He talked about, how his wife didn't work. Okay, he had to go. How his wife didn't work for a certain season, and all of those types of things. And and
Hmm.
there was times that there was a season that it was cheaper for my ex-wife to stay at home because we had 3 kids. And you know how
Hmm.
much daycare is?
Oh man, I'm paying for it now.
You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, yeah.
so when you start factoring salary versus how much it costs for her to go to work, how much taxes and all those things, it might be cheaper for it, so you have to do what works for your how they
Okay,
can talk. I
go.
don't mind. I like hearing babies talk. That's good. Hey,
Yeah,
let them
it's
talk. Put them
dinner.
on the screen.
It's dinner time, man.
Hey, put
First
them
my
on the
daughter
screen,
came, now
man.
my
Listen, I'm
son
about
come.
we about to cut off in a minute. I only wanted to be on for. Hey, what's
Say
up, man?
hi, Mr. James.
Can you do this? Can
No,
you do that?
you in my ear. He can't hear you. You in my
Okay,
ear.
okay. Oh, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I love James. Love the kids. I'm gonna have grandkids after a while. Look at him looking over your shoulder.
This dude.
What's his
You go
name?
downstairs, Donovan. You go
Okay.
downstairs, the all the podcast equipment on in the room down there. He be down there trying to
Hey,
because they got kids YouTube, but like when they go on our YouTube, some of the old stuff be popping up. So they call themselves going down there putting their headset on and all. Hey man, chill out, man. Chill out.
hey, look,
Chill
he got
out, man.
50,000 subscribers to talk to. Let him talk. Hey, let him talk. Let him talk.
Man.
Let him talk. But
Man.
no, man, Dennis, that's a good question, and I see how you worded it. I see
Oh
how
yeah, no.
you worded
It's
that was a
fair.
really good question. Yeah, that's a very fair question.
It's definitely fair, but I mean, my thing is if a woman don't want you because like people gonna like you said they gonna conform to what they want.
But the
You know
thing
what I'm
is, if
saying?
a woman will stick with a man that she won't, if she don't want, if she get the benefits, and especially if she stay
True.
with him long enough, she might get 50%. You know what I'm saying? Because if I divorce
She
you,
gonna
because
get
you,
more than 50%.
yeah, yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Have a
So
couple kids, you gonna get quite a bit
I
more than that.
that's why I feel my brother Dennis when he say, that he'll have somebody sign, make sure you check out that prenup, because there are women who, if a woman only wants you for your money, or if they leading with that probably ain't the right one, no way, right? You want
No.
somebody, I want somebody I can build with.
No.
Now I'm at a stage right now where you got to, I'm 50, in my 50s, so a lot of women I know have accumulated a lot, and they want somebody who's going to add to them as opposed to taking away. And I get it, because there are some deadbeats out here, you know what I'm saying? But then there are some brothers
100%.
who trying. I know me, I'm just, I've worked so much in so many different areas, and I'm still haven't gotten in the area that I'm supposed to be in yet, but I'm like that close. But when it
Right.
happens, it's gonna really like blow completely
Definitely
up.
gonna
So,
change the dynamic of your whole
oh man,
lifestyle.
for my whole lifestyle, and it's gonna happen
Man.
like overnight, and it's gonna happen to 10 families I'm connected to. I can't wait. It's 10,
Dig it.
10 families that I'm connected to. That's gonna.
I can dig
God
it.
promised me that. I hadn't
Hey,
gotten to
no
any of my
thank you.
notes tonight. I'm glad because we're an hour in, and I didn't have to use none of my notes. I can save that for another show. That's always a good thing. We could do red flags another night. So I'm good about that.
I'm running behind, big bro. Let me get downstairs for the wife.
Go ahead, man. Handle your business, man. Because I'm about to get off of here anyway. So I appreciate you,
Hey,
bro, for helping me out tonight.
it's always love, man. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, like-minded
Let's
men
collaborate
can
on
get
something
together and
soon.
have great conversation. We definitely
Let's
will. We'll
collaborate
talk.
simulcast, and let's do it for real one day.
All right, bet. Be careful.
I bet it up. All right. That's DA, y'all. I appreciate him for stepping in and helping Big Bro out tonight. That really, really helped me out a whole lot. And I did have not band, but I really did have a kind of a show or some things to talk about. I'm gonna put Dennis gave me a topic. I'm gonna put that up real fast, and then we're gonna get out of here. I'm not gonna, because I want to watch the game too. But Dennis brought this to me earlier before the show, and I want to see what y'all talked about. He was talking about Marlon Wayans. Here it is. All right. It says that Marlon Wayans. Can y'all see that? It said Marlon Wayans said he never got married because I never wanted my mother to be jealous of a woman. I never wanted my mother to feel second to any woman. Let me say that again. Marlon Wayans said he never got married because I never wanted my mother to be jealous of a woman. I never wanted my mother to feel second to any woman. That's kind of deep. But I think it's real. And I'm gonna pose this question not only to the men, but I'm gonna pose this question to the mothers. Are you willing to release your son so that he can be her husband? That's a good question. Dennis, is that a good question? Tell me if that's a good question. Are you willing to release your son so he can be her husband? And in releasing him, that means, are you willing to have that conversation to let him know that your wife comes first? Because she does. I know you birthed him. I know you shot him out your womb. I understand that. I know you carried him for 9 months and all that kind of stuff. But scripture says that when they become married, the two become one, which means there's a breaking from that nip. He has to come and be one with his wife. So if he's divided against himself and choosing you over his wife, then he's divided against himself. So I'm asking a question, and I don't see no women answering this question. I know y'all in the chat. I'm not joking. I'm laughing, but very seriously. Are you willing to have that conversation? because now Marlon, I don't know how many children he has, and if he does have children, they're all out of wedlock. But if your son, what you think about that question, Dennis? What do you think about Marlon and making that decision not to get married? I want somebody to talk back to me on this conversation, on this subject right here. Do y'all see it? Marlon Wayans said the reason he never got married because I never wanted my mother to be jealous of a woman. I never wanted my mother to feel second. So he robbed himself of proper companionship, of completion, because like I said, when the two flesh become one, right? I mean, we accentuate the positive. You think he's full of crap? I do too. But I think this is a real issue though, because there are some expectations. I've heard, some women, I'm gonna always be his mother. You're absolutely right. But you shouldn't fight her, or their relationship shouldn't be at the expense of you being his mother. It's not that you've gained a daughter-in-law. Does that make sense? And he should always put his wife. And I know it's not going to be a popular opinion. I get it. I know it's not a popular opinion. But all powerful opinions are not popular. And I know I'm on point. I know I'm right about it. But nobody's gonna jump on that conversation. I get it. I understand. But that question, in fact, Dennis, you know what? We're gonna leave with that one next week. Next week we're gonna do open mic night again because I'm gonna watch the game anyway, and I got to return a couple of phone calls. But who's winning? Who is it? Sunshine Shining. I have dated a mama. Okay. If y'all start talking, I'll stay here. But if y'all don't say nothing, I'm out of here, coach. Sunshine Shining minister, she said, I have dated a mama's boy. Life was very hard to make him and his mama. And I'm assuming she's saying happy. Yeah, I can imagine that. So you've been on the side of it where you were the daughter-in-law and he was the one and his mama didn't let him go. Okay. And I'm sure there have been probably a lot of women that were on that side, but I wonder if you're on that side and you have a son, how you would handle his relationship and him going forth in marriage, especially based on seeing how you were treated from your mother-in-law. That's a really good question, Dennis. I'm glad you sent that to me. I'm glad you sent it. He said, let me see what he said. I think it's his excuse for running the streets during the height of his fame. And how old is he now? He's probably right about 58, 60. Okay, here's a mother. That's what I've been waiting on. And as a mother, I hold a place. And if my son ever got married, his wife will hold a place as well. As well, equally, Viola, or does she have more of a place? And honestly, that's a fair question, Viola. That's a fair question. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow. I get it. But when you say I hold a place, and if he ever got married, I hold a place, and his wife will hold a place as well. Now, I'm very exegetical in my conversation, so every word matters to me. So when you say as well, does she hold an equal place, or are you willing to step back and let him be a husband and let them be a wife and not give it, not get in their way, or and sometimes something might not be, and when he come complaining to you, you tell him to go home and work that out with your wife. And not taking sides and all that stuff. Come on, Viola. I want to know. I ain't trying to pick on you. You my girl. You my girl. Viola is my homie. That's really my homie for real. We went to elementary school together. But real talk, because that's a very. I'm willing to step back and let him be a husband, and that's what a lot of women need to do. When your daughter, I'll be honest. I'll be super transparent. I know sometimes I'm super transparent. When I can talk about the past, but when I had made a very bad mistake, and we were separated. We were getting ready, and this was 17, 18 years ago, probably. It was a long time ago. Now it's probably longer than that, 20 plus years ago. And I had done some things that were worthy of a divorce. I was done some things worthy of her leaving me. But when she went home and talked to her mother, you know what her mother told her? First of all, she said, "Have you prayed about it?" And her mother said, and she said, "No." Then her mother said, "Well, you go back home and work that out." And that if more mothers did that, now, let me say this. Now, unless there's abuse. Now, if they're putting hands on each other and fighting and doing that, now that's a different situation. But as Avery said a few moments ago, there are going to come some conflicts in relationships. There are going to be some torrential storms that you just going to have to navigate, right? And what happens when you learn how to navigate, though, the more here it is. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The more storms and rough terrain you navigate, the better you become at navigating. So the little fights you have early on, and you learn how to get through those, and and learn how not to hate each other afterwards, and how to make up. Then you navigate those. Then when the next fight comes, you kind of know how to get it. Then next you learn how to fight fair. You don't be pulling up people's past, and stuff that's intentionally gonna hurt somebody. You learn how to fight fair, right? But you gotta learn how. But that involves mama and daddy. Man, I've never gone. Even if I did, I wouldn't want to hear their opinion. No way. When people come to me complaining, half the time, and I probably got people on here listening that know what I'm talking about. Half the time when people come to me and complain or have an issue, I don't give any advice. I sit there and listen. That's all I do. Because by the time they get through hearing themselves talk, half the time they've come up with a solution on their own anyway. More than half the time. So why am I going to sit here? And the thing is, if mama, you choose sides, he go back to her. Now you got resentment for him. She got resentment towards you because you gave her bad advice. Because even if it was good advice, he going to go home and tell mama. And go tell his wife, And when he goes home and tells his wife, and now she has animosity towards you, when you should have just said, go home. Well, let me see what Jackie said, because I'm really about to get off here. Jackie said, my oldest son, who's 40 now, is in a relationship. I don't consider her daughter-in-law. I consider her daughter, and she wants to get married. I feel like personally she can do better, and instead of marrying my son because he doesn't do right by her. But that's another Monday. I got you. But your son. And some of y'all know y'all sons ain't jack. But you still want, but you raised him and he wasn't jack. I'm not talking about you, Jackie. I ain't talking about you. But you want her to deal with him and then don't want to let him go. No, you got to let him go. So the question once again is, here it is, Marlon Wayans, and I'm about to get off here in a minute for real. Marlon Wayans saying the reason he never got married because I never wanted my mother to be jealous of a woman. I never wanted my mother to feel second to any woman. And I don't know how many men are using that excuse. And even if it's not an excuse, if it's the truth, mama, are you willing to tell your son to go take care of his wife and stay out of their business? Let's see what Sunshine Shining said. She said, being a parent is releasing our children to grow up, stay out the way, and keep praying. Absolutely. I got 2 daughters that live with me right now. I don't give them any advice. Very rarely. Not until you know why I don't give them a whole bunch of advice. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know why I don't give them a bunch of advice? The reason why I don't give them a bunch of advice is because I trust my training. I trust my training. I trained them. The Bible says, train up a child in the way that he should go. When he's old, he won't depart from it. I trust my training. And if they do depart from it, when they're old, they'll come back. And there are times, if something that my baby can't handle, my youngest daughter, if it's something she can't handle, she either going to come in the room and ask me, or she's going to send me a text. She has a car right now, and it's a used car. And when something goes wrong, she could tell, Dad, the car, it feels like it's bouncing. I'm driving down the street, and it's wow. She said, I don't know what it is. What it sounds like the shocks. How do we take care of it? And she wants to know. Or if it's making a squealing sound, she's trying to figure those things out. But I won't know until she asks the question. But I wait on the question to be asked. I don't go in and say, hey, did you change your oil? Did you do that? Because that could be overbearing. I don't like nobody talking to me like that. Viola said that Marlon Wayans is definitely using that as an excuse. She agrees with Dennis. Yeah. But let him grow up. Stay out the way. And then if you find, and you know what? His mama should have been trying to tell his wife, take your butt home, take your butt off and get married. Quit making these babies out of wedlock. Child support is expensive. Let's see. That's right. I felt the same way about trusting what myself and his dad did. How Dad taught our son. Absolutely. I trust my training. My son is killing it right now. I thought he's going to be a professional baseball player. That didn't happen. But what he's doing right now is going to give him sustained success for the rest of his life. He's killing it. I trust my trainer. If he don't ever talk to me again, I'm sure he will. But if he doesn't ever talk to me again, I know he's going to be all right because I trust my training. And sometimes, watch this, sometimes training involves knowing what, teaching them, you can learn what not to do based on your experiences, right? I can look at what you did and say, you know what, I ain't doing that. I learned from your mistakes. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. But now I'm going to stop talking about this because we are going to lead with this conversation next week. I'm going to tell y'all right now, we are doing open mic night again next week. We have 7 days. Y'all can send me topics. Hold on. Y'all can go. Hold on. Let me show y'all something. Y'all can go to the website. Let me show it to you. Y'all can go to the website. And if you go to the website, Sister Jackie, here it is. Can y'all see it? Yeah, y'all can see it. Hold on. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I'm about to go for real. All right. So that's the website right there. You can at the bottom of the website, you can scroll down and it's a section called Join the Stew. If you got a topic, a perspective, or want to be a guest, step into the conversation. The Intellectual Stew is built on real conversations. You can submit to the stew right here and go in the form, fill out the information. You fill out the information and you can potentially be a guest on the show, or we will potentially consider your topic. Okay. So go to the website. It's podcast.theintellectualstew.com. All right. Podcast, theintellectualstew.com. Podcast.theintellectualstew.com. And y'all know I built that site, right? I built that site. So that's another thing I do right now. I didn't just build that site. I've also built this site. And this is for some people who want clarity in their messages, associate ministers, pastors who are busy and don't have time to train their associates on how to put sermons together. Here it is. Y'all check it out. 2-night challenge is free. You can actually click the QR code right above me, and you can join this challenge as well. It's 100% free. All right. Listen, I'm about to go because I want to watch the game. It's been fun. It's been real. Next week, we will continue this topic. We're going to continue with open mic night, and then we'll jump back into some more serious topics later. I would like to thank DA, and I'd like to thank Dennis, and I'd like to thank Avery for stepping in tonight and helping your boy out. All right. It's been real. It's been fun. I'm out of here. But remember this, the world is changing. My question for you is why? Oh, yeah. If y'all want to support the podcast, you can scan the Cash App right there. We sure could use it because we are trying to expand our reach. Okay. All right. It's been real, but the world is changing. Why do you remain the same? Good night, everybody. Good night, Viola. Good night, Jackie. Love y'all. Talk to y'all later. All right.
Intellectual Stew. Intellectual Stew with James Kirkland.
Powerful and provocative. Prophetic and practical.
Have you ever found yourself
Are you dating for that person?
Informative and
I feel
inspirational.
every bit of it. Like, I'm not trying to waste my time.
How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do.
Intellectual Stew.
Come on, let's talk about it with me, the Mind Massage.
Intellectual